Ta. So, guys, a very warm welcome to one and all again to our sixth day of National Nutrition Week. We welcome you all to the session today. Let's wait for a minute or so that we'll get a few more joinees. Till then, just remember the rules. Please kindly stay muted. Use the virtual hand raise option because we are going to ask many questions today and we need your responses. And use the chat box.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ?
ನಮ್ದು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Thank you, guys. It is super special. And I have been doing nutrition awareness sessions since quite a few years. But whenever my birthday falls in the same week, I often realize like, yeah, I was meant to be a nutritionist. It just even keeps it's a coincidence, and it makes me realize, yeah, I'm meant to be a nutritionist. So I'm so glad to be. So, okay. So let's begin. So today, let me introduce the speaker first to you all. Our guest of honor today is Reviti Prasad. So let me throw some light about herself, what she is and all. So Reviti Prasad, our eminent speaker of today, with an experience of 15 plus years, has done her master's of philosophy in foods and nutrition. She has her own outfit, Revati's Diet and Destiny, based in Chennai. With her experience, she has helped many people achieve their health goals by playing various roles as a clinical dietitian, diabetes educator, fitness nutritionist, holistic nutrition coach, etc., etc. And her expertise lies in women health, weight management, and diabetes management. Team, can you please mute all? Yeah, thank you. As a Sadhana Award winner for excellence in nutritional and dietetics practice under Nutrition Entrepreneur category, she always believes in giving back to society. This is evident by her talk shows on popular Tamil TV channel, child nutrition talks in schools and associations with NGOs down south. She strongly believes that our thoughts and belief system plays a vital role both in manifesting or healing a disease or a disorder than the diet or lifestyle we follow. So her favorite saying is, we always overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in an year. Yeah, that's so true. So we have a speaker for today. We welcome you all to the session and welcome Revathi. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Jyothi, for that warm, kind introduction. Thank you so much. Good evening, all.
Okay, so the topic for today is all about women health. So why we are talking about women health? We have lots of issues around. Many people are suffering with a lot of conditions, and across there is a lot of suffering that we get to see. Be it anemia or iron deficiency, or be it PCOD, or be it weight management, or be it infertility. There's various range of symptoms and disorders and diseases that women have been suffering. So today's topic is, we want to address why all these things are happening and what could be a solution for this. So before starting into the topic, we would like to ask you all, our audience for today, what are the general symptoms or diseases or disorders that you have come across or experienced in your own life? If you can use the chat box and type it in the chat box, we can lead the session accordingly and can help you better. So come on, guys, use the chat box and let us know what you want to know more about. Okay, guys, we are waiting. Come on, be quick. Hormones imbalance, okay. That's all? No tiredness, post-menses and all symptoms, deficiencies, mood swings, menopause, Okay. Stomachache in menstruation. Vitamin D deficiency. Okay. Inflammation. Okay. Skin related issues. That's a lot. You have almost covered the whole spectrum. So, always sleepy, B12 deficiency, PCOS. Okay. That's a big list, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining and being interacting with us. Reasons for endometriosis, joint pain. Okay. So there are a lot of health issues around, and all the women around us are all educated. And each woman, they take care of the entire family, and they spare their whole time and their life to serve and do everything there for the entire family. But when it comes to herself, there is what do you know? There is something called they don't take care of themselves. Why is it so, Revathi? I would like to start with this one question: why women don't take self-care?
Wonderful question, Jyothi, to start with. So I would like to really highlight the points, like 4 points, very majority, or I can say like majority of the clients who come up to me, I face this reasons. The first reason is the moment a woman is born, she's always been seen as a brand, or she's been tagged as a form of sacrifice. The moment she's born. So there is a strong belief system inculcated the moment a girl is born, right from the family level, then to the society level. So it always like the moment you want to take care of yourself, immediately the womanhood or the so-called the tagline, the sacrifice, soul of sacrifice, suddenly pops up and says like, wait, you cannot take care of yourself. If you're going to take care of yourself, and people think like the woman who's taking care of herself is going to leave the family just like that, and she's going to prioritize herself. And many of the women actually feel very what say, they are like very much afraid of taking that term called selfishness. If a woman is being taking care of herself, then immediately she think like, oh my god, am I selfish? Am I sparing my family in terms of comparing to my health? So I would like to really flip the belief system. It is not selfish, girls, it is not selfish, it is all about the self-love. When you're going to prioritize yourself in terms of taking care of your health for a better version of yourself, it is all about the self-love. The moment you are sound and healthy, you have the energy to take care of the entire family, not only the entire family, even the complete community. So this is one thing. First of all, a woman has to break a cage. So this is what is stopping her in terms of taking care of herself. The first thing is like she should get released from the cage called selfishness, and she has to really tell to herself that is called self-love. This is one. The second point is that many women has this problem of not talking to others, not expressing that what they are going through. There's always a conflict happening within herself. Am I prioritizing myself and am I sparing my family? So it is not only you. There are so many other women suffering with the same kind of a conflict every now and then. So speak out. That's the topic. Let's not whisper. Let's speak out. Let's share our thoughts. It's that like you are not alone. You are like you have a lot of women sailing in the same boat. So this is point number 2. You have to speak out. It's not only you. And the third point is that definitely we need to accept help when we are in need. Women think, okay, I'm taking care of the family, and if I'm going to ask help, then people might think I'm a loser. I'm not capable enough. So let me not take help. It is absolutely fine. Accept if something is like you're not able to take care of the situation, if you're not able to do certain things in a situation, means what? You don't have that capacity. Accept it. Yes, speak out that you need help. So there are certain areas in household chores, or it could be in professional life, anything. Just speak out, seek help, spare some time for yourself. So these 3 things are like very common when I handle a client. This is one. And the final one is like the clinical aspect. See, women compared to men have lots of hormones. right? And these hormones are like very, very sensitive to emotions. And we women, we hardly speak out, we suppress everything, and immediately what happens? These emotions have a close connect to the hormones, and it dictates like what hormones to be synthesized and what hormones to be suppressed. So this is all what a woman has to really think about it. When she comes, what stops her is like these are the 4 points what I feel that they have to really work on to start with.
Okay. So wonderful, Revathi. That's really, really the truth. Because it's a story of many that we don't share things, we don't accept that it's not anymore feasible. We just keep on taking the stress, we keep on taking the extra burden. So let's accept what we are able to do. And once we focus on ourselves, we'll know the ways and means. Then one will be more capable of doing the same in a better way. So having said this, okay, how they can take care of themselves? Can you and why it is important to take care? See, first of all, we identify like people are not taking care of themselves, but why it is important? Can you throw some light, Revati?
Fine, Jyoti. So the thing is like, first of all, to start something new, first you need to know like where you are. Even in a Google map, if you want to reach some destination, Google map asks you like, where is your current location? Only then you will have the roadmap to travel, right? So you need to assess yourself first. So for which we need to really ask few questions to the audience here, so that I can actually start explaining accordingly to their response. So I
Okay.
would just need your
Yeah,
help
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, definitely, Revati. Okay, guys, we have 3 questions coming up for you. I need you to raise your hand, your virtual hand. Raise your virtual hand so that we understand how many of you actually agree or disagree to this. Okay. The first question is, um, how many of you women actually go for regular health checkups at least once in a year? If you have done your health checkup once in a year, raise your hand. Guys, please raise your hand. Sorry, cooking time. Okay, fine, Fatima. Okay. Do we have any more responses, guys? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hardly 7 out of 78, or maybe count it as 10. Okay. Thanks, guys. Please lower your hands now because I'm going to ask the second question for you all. The second question is, how many of you, okay, you have done your health checkup, or even if it is not done, how many of you actually check on yourself? Are there any symptoms? Are there any changes in your body? Have you gone through anything? Are there anything that needs to be monitored? Have you ever checked it? If you have done it, raise your hand. If not, please do not. Okay, Kamalam says yes. Okay, Archana, Kanchana, Manju Bhargavi, Shobhana, Sri Ramansi. There are quite a few who observe that they have changes in their body. Okay, 12 raised their hand. One said, I don't do it. Okay, out of 78, 12 people said yes. Then the third question, guys. If once you know that you have done so, you know there are some changes or there is some problem through the blood test, how many of you actually try to rectify your own health condition by visiting a healthcare professional? Please raise your hand. Okay, this is a better response. We have 18, it's increasing, 17. Okay, me, 19. Okay, healthcare in the sense, is it a doctor or a nutritionist? Okay, it's coming to 18, Revathi. So that's a response from the guys. So almost some 7, 8, I think 10 out of the whole lot are regularly going for health checkups. Out of everyone, I think around 6 or 7 raised their hands for observing their body language or the symptoms. And people trying to reach out for help with a healthcare professional, there are some 18+ hands.
Right. Thank you so much, people. I mean, thank you so much for the response. And Jyothi, see, there is one thing we really need to understand. See, the first two questions, people hardly, they had very low response, but the third one, they raised it more. See, until otherwise you don't know what's happening, you are not going to actually go to the doctor or a healthcare professional, right? So I feel all the 18 who didn't answer for the first two questions has to really assess them first. See, until otherwise I see some kind of a change, if I don't observe my physical symptoms, or if I don't do any kind of a blood test or any kind of a medical checkup, how will I reach to a professional? So there's a mismatch actually. You know, the first two questions should have been in a higher range, and probably people don't take up the final step of getting the help from the professional. But there is a ulta way, the reverse way of response. So I request all the people who have joined here, all the audience, look into yourself where you are standing right now. So this is the self-assessment which I want to really talk about. The first thing is monitoring yourself, like doing the master health checkup yearly once at least to find out where you are first of all. So women, especially what I see in my client, common health conditions are like, a low hemoglobin count or some kind of a hormone imbalances, vitamin D deficiency, calcium problem, so calcium deficiency. So I feel like, you all should be aware of like where you stand. This is the inference that you need to really understand from your blood report. And I can definitely say, like, how many of you really know about your hemoglobin value? Right? So hardly people test, because hemoglobin, until otherwise, if it is going to really connect it with the hair and the skin, people doesn't even bother about. And I always see a lot of people discussing when there is a hair loss, they have a hair fall, immediately they go and get the supplement of biotin and iron, until they don't even bother about their physical thing. What is happening? Are they really feeling tired? No, they are like very much bothered about their physical looks and appearance. Okay, so this is the first thing. And the second question, so how often they actually observe their bodily symptoms? See, you have to really start observing your body language. So we term it as body's language, in the sense like the symptoms, the signs. Do you have dry skin, or do you have enough energy to perform your day-to-day activity? Forget about exercise and other stuff. Just the energy level for the entire day. Just look into it. How many times you would have observed that you have a kind of a back pain? And if I ask any woman for that matter, they may not be able to say it precisely. They will say like, maybe ma'am, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. They're not even aware when the pain started. And the final thing is like, people hardly reach out to to be very precise, to the nutritionist. They go to the doctor, right? But they hardly come to us, taking up the right step, what to say, they need to correct their deficiency so that they have a better health. So this is a self-assessment, guys. So you just start assessing yourself, then reach out to the professional. That's the point I just want to share.
Okay, so wonderfully put, Revati. So guys, so I hope you all got the point. Keep observing yourself, as we were discussing yesterday about observing your breath all through the day, or whenever you remember. Similarly, whenever you are free or sitting in the lodge and just chilling around, or whenever you're free and your mind is not occupied, guys, please mute yourself, please. It's a sincere request. Yeah, thank you. So please keep a check on yourself and see how you are able to take yourself all through the day. When you start your day, when you get up from the bed, how are you feeling? And as you proceed with your morning busy schedules and move around to the afternoon, how are you feeling? And by the end of the day, how is it? And do you feel any change, or your energy levels are same? You have to keep a self check on yourself. Then only you would be able to help yourself. So this is the first thing to do. So having we discussed all these things, Revati, see, the first question that I asked all the audience to let us know the kind of problem they all are facing through. The reason for asking that particular question is I want to understand what kind of audience do we have today, what they are interested in. And I could able to find each and everything that is possible. So let's talk about some common health issues that women are facing these days. Can you throw some light on that?
Sure, Jyothi. See, the common thing what as a coach I keep seeing in my clients are like, very common nowadays is like the PCOS, the hormone imbalances, irregular cycle, and thyroid. So already Dania Irfan, she has already spoke a lot about thyroid. So I actually want to talk more about something called anemia. Okay, why anemia? I just give you the reason. The thing is like I did my UG almost 2 decades before. Okay, when I did the UG, and I'm sure even my batchmates who have passed out that year, we read the prevalence of anemia in India. That time it was like 50 to 55% of the Indian women are suffering with anemia. It was 2 decades before. And now when I was actually surfing for the data again, the Bharat, Mukh Bharat, the research has been done by them. It's the central government. 2021, as per the survey by 2021, again the prevalence is still 50 to 55% of the Indian women. Okay, so I was like a bit shocked and surprised. Like 20 years, are we not equipped very well in our medical science? I mean, when we are able to find a vaccine for COVID, which very recently appeared, and we were able to find a vaccine in a very short time, but we are unable to eradicate anemia. So that's like it is hardly being spoken, but the anemia is like it is not causing any symptom right away. Like it is not bothering them in a direct way, but it is actually creating a whole lot of disturbances in the quality of life. So I could see some of them chatting in the chat box saying that tiredness, sleepiness. It could be anemia. So hardly people know about it. Hardly people talk about it. So I just want to talk in two aspects of it. So one is anemia in a clinical aspect, and of course, as a holistic coach, I want to say like why people suffer with it. So first thing is the clinical aspect of it. So first, the clinical aspect is everybody know there is a low count of hemoglobin in the blood, then the person is termed as anemic. So now there are, I mean, there is no much difference between the upper class women or the middle class women or the low socioeconomic status, but still every woman of, all the sectors suffers with this anemia. This is one. The second thing is like government has come up with so many supplementation program. So it could be the state government or it could be the central government, but still, we fail to actually eradicate anemia. So what is it the government is missing, and or what is it we as a medical professional we've been missing it all throughout this? See, when we say anemia, we immediately focus on iron, and to enhance the absorption of iron, we talk about vitamin C. So we always prescribe iron-rich food and vitamin C-rich food, so that the absorption is enhanced, so that these people are like having a very good iron content, or it could be the other anemia also, so vitamin B12. So now coming to the actual part, what is hemoglobin? So hemoglobin is like heme is the iron part, and what about globin? Globin is the protein. So we all know that most of the Indian diet, most of the Indian doesn't even reach the required amount of protein in day-to-day basis, on a day-to-day basis. We hardly reach out. And the government is still at the back of iron only. What about the protein part, which has to club with the iron, right? So it is like, I can put it in a very simple term. It is like constructing a building with just a brick, but you're not using the cement and sand. The cement and sand I'm talking about is the protein part. So just with iron, will you be able to get a very strong structure for a building? No. So even for the government's sake or from the medical professional side, we really need to focus on educating people about taking good amount of protein in their diet, so that they are able to eradicate anemia in a simple way. This is one. The second point in this clinical aspect is that, again, I'm not going to talk about the iron-rich food, vitamin C-rich food, so everybody knows all those stuff. I would like to really share my insight, what I found in my research as part of my MPhil. So I actually did about the effect of cookware on the nutrients. I was very much curious to know, is there any impact when the people use different kind of cookware on the nutrition part? So I chose 3 different cookwares. One is the mud cookware, the mud kadai. The next one is the aluminum kadai, and the third one is the iron kadai. And I chose green leafy vegetable as the food source. So everything was done by me. I didn't outsource it. I did it in the lab. So I first checked the iron content in the raw green leafy vegetables, and then I standardized the cooking method. Then I actually used all the 3 cookware. And to my surprise, when I was checking the iron content again, so the iron content of the green leafy vegetable cooked in the iron cookware just got doubled compared to the raw one. And the other 2, the aluminum, it literally reduced 50% of the iron content in the green leafy vegetable. And the mud kadai is something we really need to go back to the roots, where this mud kadai, it actually retained, the loss was minimal in pertaining to iron. And I even checked the vitamin C content of it. So vitamin C, the better retention of vitamin C was observed when I did with the mud kadai. So the takeaway is, when we are actually following certain things blindly without knowing the logic behind it, we sometimes tend to lose it. So we stopped using iron kadai, we hardly use it. But the thing is, like, if you're going to use this iron kadai or iron dosa, the dosa thing for making the dosa, or the iron knives or the iron ladle, I'm damn sure that you people are hardly going to see any kind of iron deficiency. This is one. And definitely I would encourage to use this mud kadai, because in the mud kadai, you hardly need to add extra water to get the food cooked, because the food actually get cooked with its own water content. You don't have to add anything, and it also cook at a high, speedy rate. You don't take much time to cook. So the key takeaway is, like, start using the iron cookware. Don't just follow anything blindly, but go with that kind of the logical thinking. Don't read the rational thinking. Once you read the rational thinking, we are getting into all sort of this trouble. So this is the clinical aspect. The holistic aspect. So the holistic aspect is, so irrespective of the socioeconomic status, all women belong to any kind of social status, they've suffered with this anemia. Why? So the upper class women is affordable to eat all this iron-rich food, vitamin C-rich food, but still she suffers. The low socioeconomic, again, they are not able to buy, but still they suffer. So what is it, the common thing? So I would like to really throw some light. The thing is, like, the primary function of hemoglobin is to carry oxygen so that you survive. I mean, it is the life for your physical body. So this is the primary function of a hemoglobin. But guess what? What is the oxygen that is required to live a life as a whole? So we as a human, we are not only physical body, we are our mind, we are our soul and the body. So as a coach, just guess what could be the oxygen for a human being to survive. Any guesses? Chat, please type in the chat box. I would love to know. What do you think is the oxygen that is required for survival as a human? Any guesses? That okay. Okay. Don't know. Okay, not sure. Okay. So good that I didn't hear anybody saying about money. So because people think like money is the oxygen for survival. It is not so, but because COVID has taught us a lot. People with so many money, there were a lot of demand for the oxygen cylinder. People couldn't get it. So love is the oxygen for the survival. So if you don't have enough love, if somebody is deprived of love, only those human beings will suffer with anemia. You can just ask yourself, if you feel like you check your hemoglobin count, you feel like you have low count, ask yourself, am I deprived of love? Of course. So what happens is, like, when you feel expecting love from others, from the loved ones who are returned, so you start having this kind of a deprivation, like you don't have enough love. People are not showing you enough love. But this is not the end. There is one more step deep we need to dig in. So when do you really seek love from others? Okay, I'll put it in a very simple example. Say, for example, Jyothi is having a car and I don't have a car. So I feel once I see Jyothi, I feel like, okay, I also wish I have a car. So when do I wish? When I don't have something and somebody is having that, then I wish for it, right? If I do have a car, I don't have any differences. I have indifferences. So it is like she's also having, I'm also having. That's fine. So now, who are the people who seek love from outside? The person who is not having enough love within themselves. So it is all about the self-love. So initial start, I told this selfish and self-love. There's a lot of understanding has to happen. So the moment you have that love within yourself, you become the source of love, and you don't anymore require anybody to show love to you. Rather, you become the source. You start sharing, and it becomes very easy to eradicate anemia. So this is from a holistic perspective.
Okay. So how many of you have iron deficiency here? You have got a whole set of guidelines to follow so that you can improve your iron levels. And interestingly, there is one point I want to tell you regarding the same iron deficiency and anemia. I have done an integrated research on tribal belts of Andhra. And the most important reason of why people in all the tribal belts and rural belts, they don't take the iron pills given by the government, because they believe that whatever comes free is not good. So they just collect the drugs, all the tablets and whatever care or all these NGOs supply to them, and they just throw them out. So I have seen the similar case in cities, because we have Anganwadis across the city suburbs, and it's the same scenario. So it's not actually the unavailability of resources, guys. We do have the availability of resources, but one has to know how we should make use of them. So we have so many problems, but we have time constraints. Since we covered only one, I'll skip this and I'll go into the next one. And I want you to be more precise, Revathi, this
Yeah,
time.
sure.
So let's discuss about the challenges, some of the challenges that women have, so that they are not able to focus on themselves. Maybe we can identify few so that they can help themselves identifying with them.
See, I would list very few, but I want to just talk about the very common thing which everybody faces. Okay, the very few thing is like people think like, okay, I'm already anyway sick, but now I don't have the need to really take care of. Anyway, I have pills, so let me go about it. So they behave like a mobile pharmacy. Okay, they have that kind of a mindset. And the second thing is like, okay, they become very jealous of seeing people like some people they keep eating but they don't gain weight, but even I eat a little bit, I start gaining weight. So anyway, this is something wrong with my body. Whatever I'm going to do, that is not going to work out. So they stop there. In some more people, they say like, no, I don't have enough space to do the workout, so I don't want to do it. Okay, but very common thing which I want to really explain is like, they always say like, I don't have time for myself. My family is my hindrance. I'm not able to do it for myself. So and they have a lot of other works more than taking care of their health. So this is a common thing they say. They come up with this reason. So the flip side of the story, I just want to ask one question to all those people, all those women who says these reasons. Now imagine there is one loved one in your life who has become sick, and you take the person to the doctor, and the doctor says, ma'am, this person need to be given certain foods. Okay, because nowadays the people just believe even the food has to be prescribed by doctor, not by the dietitian. So they go to the doctor, they get the food list. So if the doctor says some food list has to be followed, I'm asking all the women, don't you do that if it is given prescribed for next 30 days? Won't you do that? Probably it could be giving a kind of fruits or vegetable or making it as a salad, or including some kind of a thing which you never do it in a routine cooking style. But still you would end up doing it, right? It is the same schedule you have. You are very much occupied with all the works. You have a lot of things, but still you are able to do it. So what is it stopping? It is all about taking for granted. they don't prioritize, they take themselves for granted, and they don't want to move out of their comfort zone. So they are very much fearful. So this they have to really work on too.
Absolutely. So wonderfully put it across. Can you tell the 3 takeaway points once again, Revati, for the audience?
Okay, so the 3 takeaway points is like, see, the first thing is like be consciously aware. First, do the blood test and check with the thing, and first to find out like where you are. This is the first thing. The second thing is like you have to commit to yourself, take charge of yourself, take responsibility of yourself. You are responsible for your health. Nobody's going to come help you out unless you are going to initiate that help from within. And the third thing is the consistency, and for that you really need to be stay motivated. If you are a person that you can really work on your self motivation, I would really appreciate. But unfortunately, most 95% or 99% of the people, they will do the conscious awareness, they will assess themselves, they will commit themselves, but the consistency part, they will follow it for a week, then they will stop. So now I really recommend that they need a coach, they need a personal coach who can really help them out to stay consistent and to stay focused. They need that motivation whenever they drop off. So these 3 things definitely they have to work on.
Okay, wonderful. So first thing, guys, you have to get assessed by yourself, and you should know where you are so that you can move ahead and take the right step for yourself and be there with consistency to do what you are supposed to do. Wow. But all these things are good to know. We all know this, but still there are hindrances and people are not able to do it. To set a habit formation is not easy. Knowing is different and doing is totally different. So can you throw some insights on how they can actually try on this habit formation and establish some good habits for themselves and help themselves? Are there any means and ways?
Right. See, generally I use this formula with all my clients. So I'll just brief it out. The thing is like, first thing, whenever you want to make some changes, make only one change at a time and just try to follow it for 1 week. Say, for example, if you assess yourself and you feel like you are not drinking enough water for the entire day. Now, commit to yourself that, okay, let me start drinking water, probably 2.5 liters or 3 liters, again, depending on their requirement, for which they definitely need to go get a professional help. If they are going to do it on their own, they can just at least go with like 2.5 to 3 liters. They stick on to it for 1 week. Okay. Again, in the week 2, what they can do is like, if they feel like they need to include more vegetable or more fruits, then they can add along with this water. They can add 1 fruit a day. They become consistent for the second week. So it is like you have to habit stacking is the technique. So you have to do it one by one. But the trick here is, okay, you might have a health goal and you will be doing the other way around. Like only a professional will know what are the exact key areas to address. So if you start doing it on yourself, probably to hit your health goal, it might take some years. But if they reaches in a wiser way, they can see the results in few weeks or few months time, because we know that exactly what is it causing this problem and what they have to address, and we immediately start working on the areas to address, which gives the effects immediately.
Wonderful. So guys, take it slow. What is needed is baby steps. We don't want to hit marathons. We just want to make single steps slowly, one after the other. Winning each step is important rather than climbing the stairs and falling from there. So with that good note, it's nice to have so many insights from you, Revathi. So let's ask our audience about some questions and insights that they were looking for actually, because we want to cover a wide spectrum of diseases and disorders. They have so many problems they have listed out. I want you to address them all. So can we get the questions, please, team? So let me check few.
How to cope up with the UTI?
Okay. How to
Sorry?
cope up with UTI, urinary tract infections.
Okay. So urinary tract infection, the thing is like we really need to find out whether the person is using the restroom frequently, because nowadays people don't use the common restrooms. So we need to really find out that, and the water intake has to be taken care of. And very important, like, hardly people talk about the innerwear they use, the panties they use, that has to be really checked, how hygienic and how frequently they are having a hygiene environment for the area, especially the vagina and other stuff. So all these things has to be taken care of. So it is again, it's a very wide thing to discuss, but very basic things are like these things. Make sure that you have enough water and you always flush it out. That is very important. Like using the restroom is very important.
Okay. So there's a question from Shobana Sriram. She's asking why all the period symptoms be the same from the age of maturity till now. Why, Shobana? You want them to be experienced differently each month? Okay. So that's a question. Somehow, would you like to answer, Revati? Why symptoms are same?
Because probably she is having the same kind of a belief system. She's been explaining. See, sometimes what happen, I have a experience with my client. I'll just share it. Probably this would answer her. I had a client who, she has some kind of a health condition. She really got improved, and she really got started seeing that changes. She's been suffering with that health condition for years together. Okay, but she could hardly believe that how come I can heal so quickly. I mean, every time she used to tell me like, Revathi, is it really happening or not? So sometimes it is so that we always believe in that, okay, if this time the menstrual cycle had this cramping, and if it is absent in the next cycle, immediately we think, what happened to my cramping? It didn't happen today. And immediately you start experiencing that. So it's all about the mindset. People are not even happy being pain-free. They want some pain in their life, in their body. So that's a mindset actually. That requires a personal approach.
I just love the way you put it across, Revati. Wonderful. Wonderfully said. So guys, it means just you think of it and you think of the devil and the devil is here. So you think of the pain is here. You think of something which you don't want and it is there. If we all ask about, don't think about a monkey right now, the monkey is what flashes in our mind. So the human mind is tricky. So be careful while you actually want what you want to think about it. So guys, drop up your questions because you have an expert here who can. I saw one question earlier. Okay, there is a question from Hetal. She's asking because you said that when we cook food in the iron containers, the iron content of the food gets double. So her question is, what about the bioavailability of the iron that is released from the utensils, not from the food?
See, the thing is like the iron from the kadai or the utensil, there is a research paper, the bioavailability of the iron obviously increases. Okay. It is like the moment we start measuring the iron content of the cooked food from the iron cookware, it showed the complete iron content of it. Okay, and the bioavailability is still there. It is still there. So imagine if you are eating 100 grams of green leafy vegetable, and say for example you have just 10 milligrams of iron in that from 100 milligrams. I'm just giving you an example. What if you have more option or more opportunity exposing your body to increased content of or the quantity of iron? You definitely have a better chance of absorbing it better. And Hital, definitely there are research papers, you can just go through it. The bioavailability of the iron is definitely increased when you use this iron cookware.
Okay. So, okay, there's a question from Meenal. She's asking, ma'am, when can we say that we have regular periods and when can we say that it is irregular?
Okay.
I think this is your favorite question. I know you love answering this. Go ahead, Revathi.
Okay, so the thing is like, first thing, observe your cycle for at least 3 months. Find out how many days once you are getting your cycle. Say for example, if you're getting a cycle every 45 days once regular for consecutive 3 months, then your cycle is regular. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're going to have cycles, say for example, in the month of June you had, and you are having the next month cycle probably 30 days after, and in the month of July. And after that, you have 45 days after the July month cycle, you're getting it. So you really need to track your cycle, like what is the duration. Only then you can come to a conclusion that whether the cycle is irregular or regular. So it doesn't mean that everybody has to get on dot 28-day cycle. It doesn't happen. It is very subjective. But as far as your question is concerned, just check whether you are getting the cycle for every regular days, like 45 days once or 50 days once or 30 days once. If it is regular, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So the 28-day cycle is to study, but if you have a cycle for 40 days and every time you're getting it for 40, it is regular. Don't think that it's regular. But if you get a cycle for 25 days 1 month, 35 days 1 month, 55 days 1 month, then it's definitely irregular. I hope. So there's a question from now, Shane. Cramps before periods, is this common?
Okay, so I know a lot of women, I mean, many of us actually dislike cycle because of this cramping. Yes, just raise your hands, whoever are with me. I mean, because of cramping, I don't like my cycle.
3 people, 4.
4, 7, okay. 7. All the others are like enjoying your cycle with the cramping. I really appreciate it.
Or probably we'll assume for the best they don't have cramps.
Okay, so the thing is like, see, cramping, any pain for that matter. I'm not talking about only the cramping, any pain for that matter. We have to really look into it. Are we taking it as a problem or are we taking it as a challenge? The more the pain you undergo, it becomes like you are becoming stronger. It is actually showing your body's ability to withstand your pain. Otherwise, you don't know, right? Until otherwise you experience a pain, you don't know like what is the threshold of the pain you will be able to withstand, right? So it is all about the mindset. So just whenever you have the cramping, just find out like how much better you feel. So for that, you have to really take care of yourself. It is not only during the menstrual cycle, all the other days before the menstrual cycle, make sure that you are making your body stronger to withstand the pain. And clinically, if I want to really give you some answer, you can try this cramping. You can just get down the pain by having some fenugreek seeds. That really helps. Having some kind of a water, turmeric water, that also helps, because these things I've tried with my clients and I've tried myself on my own. So these two things really help. So at least 1 teaspoon of fenugreek, just swallow it with the water, probably half an hour to 1 hour's time, you get relief from the cramp.
Good. So that's our handy tips, which are very well easily can be done at home. Hazel is again asking cravings before periods. So how we can treat this holistically?
Okay, good. So the thing is like, see, menstruation is kind of a stress that body undergoes, right? So I can relate it in a way that once the stress is initiated, there is some kind of a hormone imbalance is happening, and the moment you have that hormone imbalance, you start craving for food. So now again, the same answer goes with it. The moment you feel like you have craving and other stuff, as a holistic coach, I can say like, it is the stress part that we need to really address. But as a clinical person, there are certain deficiency which actually makes you crave for food. For example, if you are like very much craving for any kind of sweet, like chocolates or any kind of sweet for that matter, so you might be deficient in magnesium, chromium, selenium, zinc. So these things has to be addressed. So you cannot restore this deficiency during your cycle. So you have to really, make it as a bank deposit. So you need to really take care of all these things throughout your month so that you don't crave for all this food. So the base point is this. Now start including more of nuts and seeds, which are the good sources of all these nutrients what I've mentioned, so that you don't end up having all these cravings. Once again, all the tips I'm sharing with you all, I've tried all these things with my clients. It has given wonderful results. Client of really told me like, ma'am, nowadays I don't even feel like eating oil fried snacks during the menstrual cycle. I stopped craving for sweets during my menstrual cycle. So it has really worked wonders. But all that is like, you need to give time for the body to adapt.
Great. So, so the next question comes from Samata. She's asking how to deal with mood swings during periods, especially the premenopausal phase.
That, I guess. See, the thing is, like, again, see, you start working on yourself. Exercise is very much important to, make yourself stay balanced. That is very important. Being physically active. Again, taking all kind of food stuff. Balanced diet is very important. And there are a lot of other stuffs. See, if a person is actually suffering with certain kind of a symptom, we really need to study the person, not the disease actually. This is what the principle of holistic practicing is all about. So the basic information, the takeaway point is like start working on yourself. First of all, analyze where these things starts. Okay, there could be some trigger, the emotional trigger from which you will have that dominoes effect. You will eventually end up having all these mood swings and cravings and other stuff.
Okay. There's a question from Kaushal. I would like to answer this. Is pregnancy after age 36 is difficult? So Kaushal, definitely not. But again, it depends on many factors. These days, the moment people want to get pregnant or plan the pregnancy, they directly jump into it, they try, and they feel that they are not able to achieve it. But there is something called a before the pregnancy, preconception time, and people don't take care of that. There is no proper nutrition, there is no proper fitness, then the body is not ready. Definitely nothing is possible even for a 20-year-old, leave about the 36. But if a person is fit enough and healthy in the sense not only the weight wise, I'm not talking about the body weight, fit enough mentally, physically, emotionally, anything is possible any age. I'll tell my own story. I'm pregnant at 36. So I want to answer this question. I delivered to my daughter a normal delivery at the age of 36. Now I'm 44. So it's quite possible. Its only thing is how you are and how you set your priorities. And you definitely need someone to guide you in this journey. So, okay, Shobna, I don't get your question completely. It's half due to heavy flow and orthodox practice. I don't get your question. Please type it properly. Soumya asked, does deworming for adults such practice exist? Yes, of course it exists. So Fatima says my story to 38 normal delivery. Congratulations, Fatima. Aishwarya Roy also delivered babe Aradhya at 36. We have one more successful story. There's so many women who does that, who are career oriented, who really don't want to get into all these things quite early in their life. It's quite possible, but provided you are hell and healthy. So Ashraf is asking, ma'am, is it common to puke during menstruation?
See, it is again all about the hormone that's playing around, okay? And definitely it is possible for us to have a very normal menstruation, as I already told you. So once the girl is having a kind of experience, if she starts puking during menstruation, so immediately next menstruation, she will have the first thought of, okay, I'm going to puke this month, okay? So there are a lot of other stuff which we really need to address before I answer this question. So I feel like it is very subjective again.
There is one more live example from our coaches itself. She's Sirisha. She's 35 and she's third month pregnant. She's in third trimester of pregnancy now. Congratulations, Sirisha. Congratulations from the whole crowd of audience over here. We wish you all the good luck. So I think we almost covered most of the questions in the chat box, but I want you to enlighten our audience regarding few myths and misconceptions that people carry, Revati. Probably can you talk about more on people probably think like if they have a regular period, they think that they have PCOD. There's a common misconception, like anything related to periods, they relate that they have PCOD. Or if they have PCOD, they think that they'll end up in infertility. This keeps on going and making cycles. So can you throw some light on this?
First, very basic request I can say, first stop Googling, okay? If you are going to get bombarded with lots of information, obviously you're going to get confused. We being as a medical professional, we keep reading so much of articles or research papers. Sometimes it says like this food is very good for this, and suddenly there will be another paper saying that no, this food is really against this condition. So as a medical professional, it's very challenging for us to understand the basics, like where it is going, what is the essence of it. So I really request you all to get connected with a proper professional, like just go with the reference. Be very authentic. Go get connected with the people. See, we spend a lot for so many things. Why can't you spend for yourself? Approaching a medical professional, get the all the doubts clarified, get the test done. So as I already told you, first assess yourself where you are. First be conscious, be in the present moment. We become very anxious the moment we start experiencing certain things for the first time itself, and we also jump into conclusion. If it is going to repeat, I'm going to have the same experience. Why don't we get a different experience? I mean, this is all about the mindset. And so to answer this question, so irregular cycle, I've already told you, so irregular cycle, you have to really monitor for 3 months. This is one. And second thing, it is not at all, there's no connection between the infertility and the irregular cycle. Of course, there are certain things that could be followed, and the chance of getting pregnancy definitely can be increased exponentially, not even multifold. Exponentially, you can increase the chance of fertility, provided you take up the proper step towards a professional help. Otherwise it becomes really you become more stressed out, more anxious. Again, it is taking a toll on your hormones, and again it becomes a vicious cycle, right? So just get the professional help. That's the bottom line.
So don't put on taglines for yourself, girls and ladies. So if you have irregular periods for a month or so, because all teenage girls have so much of irregularity in this periods these days, and it is common because they are establishing their periods. So it takes some time to stabilize. Please don't tag them that they have irregular periods. No, they do not. First thing. And second thing, if you have any kind of issues in getting pregnancy, don't relate it to something else. So try to find out the exact root cause. And for that, you have to really approach a right person who can really guide you. So two things. And I have one more important question, Revati, because I hear this from a lot of clients, and also from most of the people suffer with this. So I want you to throw some light on this, the bloating problem during periods, and how bloating and hormones are related, and how people can get rid of it. This is the most common problem of 90% of women. So I want you to talk on this.
Okay, so bloating again. See, there are lots of hormones gets imbalanced. This is one. And when it comes to bloating, definitely it is not with the uterus or ovaries. It is all about the gut health. Okay. So the thing is, like, start addressing the gut. Again, it is not only doing, see, it has become a mindset, like only when we get suffering, we start addressing things. When you experience pain, some kind of a discomfort, only then you start addressing it. Otherwise, we don't even bother about it. Okay. So the body is trying to talk to us through pain only. What else? Otherwise, we won't even bother to take care of it, right? So all these bloating, any kind of symptoms, whatever women experience during menstruation or pre-menstrual period or post-menstrual period, everything has a connect. It is like, we suffer for that 3 to 5 days or a week's time, and we are like very much stressed, and we really want to do something, but we have the next 3 weeks ahead. But the moment we settle down with all these pain, we don't even take action for that. So 3 weeks is like just going in, and just like that the next cycle is on, right? So this bloating, these things, everything, again, there's a lot of things has to be addressed. It is not like, one single line or one single food is going to give them the relief, or it is going to give the solution. But it is all about, they have to really take care of their health throughout. It is not a seasonal period, a discount period, kind of like, you can take it for only for 3 days, 5 days, then the sale is closed. You cannot take it for granted for that way.
So true. So there is a reason for raising this question, ladies. This is not something that you address when you face it. When there is a pain, it means it's not that you're suffering. Pain means your body is letting you know that you have to take action. So don't stop till you have the pain. Get into a healthy routine. Set your habits, put up yourself into a good exercise regimen, follow an active lifestyle, follow some healthy thought process. The emotions and thoughts play a vital role these days for everything. And if you have heard about all the past 6 sessions, everything is based on a thought and emotion only. If you have a right thought, you are the right person. We are what we think. So having said that, so reset your health and get in touch with us if you're really interested to get in touch with any of our coaches or guest speakers who have been here so far. There is an interest form in the chat box. Please kindly click on that. You just need to enter your name and phone number, and after the campaigning, we'll just get in touch with you. So here you go. Your chance to get in touch with the coaches and talk to us and share your issues, and we will definitely try to help you out. So that was a wonderful discussion, Revathi. Thank you so much. We have got so many insights. You have given wonderful practical tips, and this is quite useful to all our audience. And I hope they will take away the right message and apply it in their lives and bloom. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Jyothi. It's my honor and privilege. Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you so much for entire H3 team. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for all the audience here who've been waiting till the end.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was about to finish with the line, and thank you for doing so. Thank you, one and all, for joining us today. Tomorrow we have the last session for this week. We are not finishing the sessions, but it's the last session for this week. It is on self-healing techniques. And if we have so many things that we have around, so much of suffering, so much of ailments, disorders, diseases, how one can heal themselves through using simple techniques at your own place, be it at your own home. So if you are more interested, join us tomorrow with our another speaker, and we'll teach you how to heal yourself. Bye bye, guys. See you all tomorrow. Good night.